Welcome to Tyler's Retro Reviews. For the first of 2 weeks, I'm doing WCW, the two WCW pay-per-views after the infamous Thinker Poke of Doom. If you want to see the January 4 Nitro with the Raw, I did that last month on the 25th anniversary of that. Here we go. Now, we're going to start with Souled Out 1999, and then next week will be Super Brawl 9. As if in case you know, that video was the most viewed video on my main channel until my first Raw review in 2022, which was August, I forgot, August 9th, I believe. I don't remember that very much, but yeah. This show felt like a 3-hour edition of Thunder that people had to pay. January 17th, which last month, this is the 25th anniversary of it. But it was not good but it's not for all the right reasons. At the Charleston Civic Center in Charleston, West Virginia. So, where do we begin with this? Basically, January 4th, 1999. We all know, the Finger Poke of Doom, where the NWO merged together. There's the NWO Elite, even though it has fucking Disco Inferno in it. And there's also the B Team. Basically, NWO Wolfpack and the NWO Black and White merged together because Ric Flair beat Eric Bischoff on the Nitro after Starrcade. And as a result of that, Eric Bischoff is out of power, and because Ric Flair made Eric Bischoff build the ring as one of his punishments. Other punishment is him. We'll get to it when I talk about Super Brawl 9, basically. And yeah. I'm wearing this shirt, coincidentally enough. But yeah, the main event is Goldberg versus Scott Hall on the Go Home Nitro. This Goldberg will face Scott Hall in a ladder taser match, I call it. Also, that same Nitro was the last appearance of Paul White as the Giant, because by February, I believe this is around this month, 25 years later, he was no longer in World Championship Wrestling after that. His last match was against Kevin Nash, coincidentally, on the Go Home Nitro to this pay-per-view. And yeah, you know, he will go, Big Show will be going to the WF as the Big Show. And we all know about that. But anyways, let's talk about this pay-per-view. And yeah, it was not a great show, but I'll say this much, it's better than the 1999 Royal Rumble that I did last month. Anyways, let's start off with the show. Chris Benoit defeats Mike Enos by submission. And look at the year later at Souled Out 2000, Chris Benoit main evented Souled Out. Although it was not supposed to be, because originally he was supposed to face Jeff Jarrett in a triple threat theater. If I ever do Souled Out 2000, probably later this year. I know Brian's saying this Wednesday he will do Souled Out 2000 about that. So yeah, shout out to him for that. He did Royal Rumble 2008, which it was a good Rumble event, but yeah, let's talk about the rest. Yeah, Benoit, go back last week, I did Royal Rumble 2004 where he won the Rumble, which we will talk about 2 weeks later. We'll do No Way Out 2004 on the 20th anniversary of that. Yeah, this was just a mediocre match, and it has Chris Benoit in it. A 5 out of 10, I'll give it. It was a okay match, because Chris Benoit, he really has a bad match. And then we get Norman Smiley defeating Chavo Guerrero by submission. All this was Norman Smiley killing Chavo's horse Pepe. It was both terrible, sad, hilarious, fucking stupid. It reminds me of 2001 when Raven killed Moppy, which, oh Jesus Christ. Go back to my wrestling dumpster fires on that. Where Raven taped the fucking mop's mouth, even though it's a fucking inanimate object, to a wood chipper. But yeah, why was this on pay-per-view? 2 out of 10. It was terrible. Speaking of terrible, Fit Finlay defeats Van Hammer. Should be on Thunder. 0. There was nothing to talk about this. Anyways, then we get Bam Bam Bigelow defeating Raph. It was okay. It was a decent match, but this was mostly Bam Bam Bigelow wanted to fight Goldberg. 4.5. These two had a brawl on the January 4th Nitro, and then Raph caused Bigelow a match on Nitro against Scott Hall. And yeah. Yeah, that did happen. Anyways, then Lex Luger defeats Conan by submission. Now, Lex Luger turned heel, and he was a part of the NWO Elite. Why? He was better off being against the NWO, but WCW does not care anymore. And let's not forget, what's it? 2.5 months later, they changed their logo. And on the Go Home Nitro, Conan got kicked out of the NWO, as well as the Giant, which that was his last night in WCW, but yeah, not a good match. I did not enjoy this as much. They don't have chemistry whatsoever. 3 out of 10. And now we get to the second part of Souled Out, which was got back up, was better than. We get to lose. Chris Jericho defeats Perry Saturn. It was not by submission. I don't know why they say it was submission. It was a faulty pinfall. And the loser must wear a dress. Yeah. And the other match, this whole thing started. Chris Jericho was done at this point in WCW. I think he had one more match on Nitro, and he was never used again in WCW. After that whole Goldberg fiasco in '98, until 2003 when they picked that feud up for real in WWE, and then water was under the bridge between Jericho and Goldberg. Chris Jericho paid referee Scott Dickinson, and I got the referee's name this time, to screw over Perry Saturn, and that did happen in this match. Perry Saturn loses, embarrassed, he has to wear a dress. I don't like this stipulated match, basically. This was a very good match. I give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah. I'll do it. Screw it. And then since Saturn lost, he was forced to wear a dress. Yeah. Anyways, now we get for the Cruiserweight Championship. Billy Kidman defeats Rey Mysterio. I'm going to fucking do our Super Brawl next week when I have to talk about Rey Mysterio getting unmasked. Again. We'll wait. I'll save all that by Super Brawl 9 next week. Juventud Guerrera and Psychosis to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. Fun match. And yeah, fun match. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Kidman was, and Rey Mysterio is a Hall of Famer in WWE. I don't know why he didn't come back at the Rumble, but whatever. This was a great match. 8.5 out of 10. And then we get Rick and David Flair defeats Kurt Hennig and Barry Windham. I know this was Dave's first match, but oh my god, this guy was Deer in the headlights. Yeah. But they did won this match. And Ric Flair was getting a world title against Hogan at Super Bowl 9. Next week we'll talk about it. And I said this before in the original review 5 years ago. I'll say this again. Charlotte is a way better performer than her brother. Deal with it. And then the NWO will come out and attack both of both Flairs, and yeah, this led to some heat for Super Brawl, and yeah, this was mostly just a handicap match. Okay, but it was okay. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for that. And then the main event. Before we get to it, the beginning of the show, there was a Goldberg got attacked off camera in the locker room, and he had to sell a knee apart. And let's not forget Starrcade 1998. A legendary streak has to be zapped by a fucking taser, because Scott Hall helped Kevin Nash beat Goldberg because of it. And this whole thing was supposed to lead to Goldberg going through the NWO. But we all know this whole thing went downhill, basically. Again, January 4th Nitro, Goldberg was arrested allegedly for stalking Elizabeth. Quotation marks, because that was a... And then we all know the finger poke of doom. And then Goldberg did cut a really good promo with Scott Hall. He said, Scott Hall, sold out, you're first. And we get this ladder taser match. Okay? I'm calling it a ladder taser match. And what's the goal of this match? You have to climb the ladder, grab that fucking taser gun, and zap your opponent with it. Goldberg defeats Scott Hall in this. It was a good ladder match, but Goldberg did not fit in a ladder match. I mean, that's like Bret Hart in a Hell in a Cell match, or what a ridiculous stipulation. That's someone who is not. I never want to see in a stipulated match, or AJ Styles in a. AJ Styles in a Inferno match, like that. I wasn't gonna say Triple H, but he did have an Inferno match with Kane on SmackDown around this time period. It's September, basically. But yeah, Goldberg did get his revenge, and he took the taser gun away from Scott Hall. He kicked him in the face. We don't know about the end of the year or about Goldberg and super kicks. Yeah, tell Bret Hart about that. Grabs that taser gun. He zapped Disco Inferno with it. Would that make me laugh? Because, yeah, fuck Disco Inferno. And then toys with Scott Hall. He throws the taser up. He would start laughing and smiling at Scott Hall. He threw the taser up in the air, spears him, jackhammers him, grabs the taser gun, zaps Scott Hall with it, and then Bam Bam Bigelow comes out, and we all know about Super Bowl 9. And then Scott Hall got to get his heat back from zapping both Goldberg and Bam Bam Bigelow. Once again, just like fucking every time, the NWO always have to have the last laugh. The match, I give it another 8 out of 10. I mean, it was fine for a ladder match. But this show felt like a 3-hour edition of Thunder. Thank God for the second portion of the show, because we will look at this as one of the worst WCW pay-per-views. Not the worst WCW pay-per-view. That honor goes to New Blood Rising or Uncensored 1995. But I give this a 4.9 out of 10. I forgot what I gave the original video, regardless, it's a little bit better than the 1999 Royal Rumble because yeah. So next week, WCW Super Bowl 9. I won't promise that if that's going to be the most viewed video on this channel, because the most viewed on this channel was the Raw and Nitro from July 6, 98. And then the week after that, No Way Out 2004, on the 20th anniversary of it. I know James from Weird Pro Wrestling is going to talk about that show, but I want to do it on the anniversary of it. Regardless, like this video, comment down below, subscribe to this channel right here, and click the notification bell, as well as my main channel as well. And click the notification bell on that one. Subscribe to that one also. So yeah, goodbye.